Oakley dokley. Introduction of place value to the 100 billions. All right, so I always kind of started out with asking students, what do they think that this image represents? Or doesn't it look like the skeleton of a fish? And a lot of times they'll say yes. And I'm like, okay, well, you know, fish have eyes, so I'm gonna draw me an eyeball up here. And along with an eyeball, my fish has a big old mouth. Chomp, 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 chomp. Maybe mine's more shark-like. And then the end is his tail. So there's my fish. So you've got a place value fish. And I always tell the kids in third grade, you only went to the thousands. So what you should know from last year is that 1 comma says what, everyone? 1,000. And I always made my kids kind of write TH. Well, in 4th grade, we go to 3 commas. That is right, 3. Let's circle. 1, 2, 3. And I always, start teaching the kids. You should be circling when I say circle. And then you need to look up. And that's something you look for is, are they looking back up? Train them to look up, then right, look up, and right. Tell them also you're going to notice a decimal. So we've got numbers in front and numbers behind. That's going to be new to them. So let's just forget the decimal for this point, and let's just start in front of the fish. So on the top, we're going to write digits. Digits are numbers. So all place value follows the pattern of 1, 10, 100. 1, 10, 100. Now, here's a secret about place value that a lot of kids don't know. It repeats itself. 1, 10, 100. I want y'all to say it and write it with me. Watch. 1, 10, 100. 1, 10, 100. 1, 10, 100. Kind of stop, look. All right, so let's say it real quick. Everyone with me? Look up at the TV. 1, 10, 100. 1, 10, 100. As we repeat it, we're going to write it. Are y'all ready? 1, 10, 100. Guess what we're going to say again? Yeah, that's right. Here we go. 1, you should be writing as we say it. 10, 100. That's how easy place value is. It's always 1, 10, 100. Let's say it. 1, 10, 100. 1, 10, 100. 1, 10, 100. Notice that everything starts with what? Ones. That's right. All right. Now, I think I'm going to go ahead and write the words too. So see right here, here's the decimal. Not a point, a decimal. So right here, let's write the words. And you're going to want to start over here on the end. 1, O-N-E. 1, 10, T-E-N. 1, O-N-E, 100, H-U-N-D-R-E-D, dread. And I'd get up at this point to go make sure that they're starting in the right spot. So y'all should have written 1, 10, 100, and you're going to want to write kind of small. 1, 10, 100. What do I know? What's the secret about place value? Yeah, it says the same thing again. So here we go. Write small. 1, 10, T-E-N. Instead of 100, let's just write 100. Now I'm going to get a little lazy since I've already... In fact, you could put 1 in front of it, 100, instead of the number 1. Actually, I probably wouldn't. Don't even get them being like that. Just say 100 or write 100. It won't hurt you. All right, so what's our pattern, everyone, in place value? Look up at the TV as y'all say it. Yeah, 1, 10, 100. 1, 10, 100. All right, we're going to write and say it. 1, O-N-E. 10, y'all spell it T-E-N. Good. 100. O-N-E. Hun, H-U-N. Dread, D-R-E-D. Again, y'all don't need any more snacks. 1, 10, 100. So, place value, real hard, right? 1, 10, 100. What's next? 1, 10, 100. What's next? 1, 10, 100. What's next? 1, 10, 100. That's how easy place value is. It's all ones and zeros. Now, it's kind of like this guy's name is Bob, and this is Bob, and that's Bob, and that's Bob. They're all the same name. It's just that when you add commas, they get a last name. So y'all know from 3rd grade, 1 comma says 1,000. So behind this one, we have 1 comma. So we're going to add 1 comma behind each of these. And what does 1 comma say? 1,000. So come down here and let's write 1,000. Thou, T-H-O-U, sand. 1 comma says 1,000, T-H-O-U-S-A-N-D. 1 comma says 1,000, T-H-O-U-S-A-N-D. So our pattern is 1, 10, 100. 1, 10, 100 with the last name 1,000. How do I know when to say 1,000? When there's 1 comma. And when you write a comma, 3 zeros or 3 digits have to follow. What are digits? Numbers, that's right. I'd give that kid dojo points. So a comma is followed by 1, 2, 3 digits. A comma is followed by 3 numbers. A comma is followed by 3 numerals. Those are all synonyms. They mean the same thing. And I'd get up at this point. So far y'all should have 1, 10, 100. 1, 10, 100, 1,000. Y'all should have it in both digits and words. Okay? When you get 2 zeros, he gets a new last name. You don't say this is 1,000. Nope. 1 comma is 1,000. 2 commas say million. So I want you to write a big M by that guy. M. Million. How many commas are in a million? 1, 2. So I want y'all to look up here. Stop writing, look up here. Million has 2 commas. 2 commas. 2 commas. I want y'all to go do that. If you were listening a second ago, behind commas are 1, 2, 3 digits. Here's another comma followed by 3 digits. So I want y'all to put 3 digits, in this case zeros, 3 numbers behind each of the commas. So we have 1 million, 10 million, 100 million. So now we're going to come over here and write the words. Million. M-I-L-L. Yen is I-O-N. Million. M-I-L-L. Yen. I-O-N. Mill. M-I-L-L. Yen. I-O-N. And as I walk around, I'm just checking. I know you're ready when your eyes are looking at the TV. When your eyes are up, I know you're ready for me to keep going. And of course, you know, those who are participating are really paying attention. The more you dojo when they're doing what you want, the better class participation and behavior you'll get. So look up at the TV. I want to recap. 1, 10, 100. 1, 10, 100 with the last name 1,000 because 1 comma says 1,000. So here's Bob and here's Bob 1,000. And here's Bob 1, 10, 100, but Bob with the last name million. How do you know you have a million? Because you have 2 commas. So that's 1 million, 10 million, 100 million. Now we know this is Bob again. 1, 10, 100. Bob as in same name. 1, 10, 100. 1, 10, 100. 1, 10, 100. 1, 10, 100. But when you have 3 commas, your last name becomes B What do y'all think? Yeah, billion. So we're going to give them 3 commas. Look at mine before you start writing. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3 commas. 1, 2, 3. I always told my kids, a lot of y'all get caught up in how many zeros. It's not about zeros, it's about commas. Because when I write a comma, what's the rule, y'all? Yes, 3 digits follow. Ding, ding, ding. Good job. So everywhere there's a comma, I'm putting 3 numbers behind it. In this case, the numbers are zeros. So it doesn't seem as scary when you really just start thinking about numbers as commas. I see more and more heads popping up. All right, billion is like million. We've got 1, 10, 100. Billion is like million, except it's bill. B-I-L-L, yen, I-O-N. Bill, yen, bill, yen. See, when you start filling it out, it really looks like the skeleton. And I'd be walking around to make sure they're with me. All right, so behind this, see this decimal? Everything behind it, it's like money, right? These are all the dollars, which makes them whole numbers. So if I had a highlighter, I'd kind of like grab all these right here. All of these are your whole numbers. And as y'all write this with me, I want you to think about whole, W-H-O-L-E. Not like, hey, don't fall in the hole. No, whole, like is in the entire piece. These are your whole numbers. So when we're talking about whole numbers, we're talking about the whole piece. So if I said I had $10, and I'm going to wait till y'all write this and look back up. So if you're in front of the decimal, everything in front of a decimal, if you're in front of the decimal place, you're a whole number. So like one whole dollar, not a piece of a dollar, a whole dollar. 10, like 10 whole pizzas, not 10 parts. $100, as in 100 whole dollars. So when you're in front of decimals, you're a whole amount. Y'all would know this as dollars. When you're behind the decimal, you are not whole numbers. You are parts. Last year in 3rd grade, y'all learned about fractions. Fractions are parts. And that's why, think about this. This fish is hungry. So he eats a whole pizza. Whole, right? When we buy a pizza, it's the whole thing. So you chomp it, the whole number. And as you chew, food gets digested, right? You chew it into smaller pieces. It moves through your body, and it eventually comes out as, oh yes, poop. Poop. When you poop, do you poop whole pizzas or do you poop parts of your pizza? Yes, parts of your pizza. So that's why we use the fish, because we not only see a skeleton, but we can understand that, hey, these things up here in the body, they're a whole amount. But the more we go toward the tail, we get smaller and smaller until we come out in parts. So behind the decimal, if you're behind the decimal, you have to start with the decimal, kind of like that. See? Like cents, right? If this were money, 10 whole dollars, 23 cents, right? Cents are part of a dollar. And I promise you in math, the more you connect any type of math to money, the better off kids are. So you bump here's the 1 in front of the decimal. Now you bump it behind the decimal once. And 2 spaces, well, you got to go 2 spaces back. So what can I put in front? A 0, a placeholder. So what do they both say? What number is this that we know? 1, right? So let's go ahead and write 1. 1 and 1. But are they the whole number 1? No. How do you know that? Some kids may say it's a decimal. Some may say it's behind the decimal. Yeah, that's the main idea. I know it's not a whole amount, because whole amounts are in front, and whole amounts don't have a decimal. If I have a decimal, I'm a part. So when you come back, you are a tenth, tenth, not a 10. If y'all look up here at my TV, look up here real quick, stop writing. 10 is a whole amount. When you add TH behind it, tenth means 10 parts. So 1/10, you always got to remember that. If you're talking about a part, you don't want to put 110 because 110 is one $10 bill. 1/10 is meaning one part out of 10. And then hundredth. Hun, H-U-N, dreth, D-R-E-D, like hundred. But again, if you wrote 100, you're talking about 100 whole dollars. But if you're talking about 100 parts, you've got to add T-H-S, parts. Yes, I want you to write it again. Your hand won't fall off. And that's when I usually get up. Did they follow directions? And if so, you could sit back down and give the whole class. So we've got tenths and hundredths. And here's a little trick. Tenth, a T, right? Tenth and hundredth, H. Tenths have one vertical segment because they're one spot behind the decimal. Hundredth has two vertical segments, two spots back. So you can kind of show them that trick. All right, this took the longest. Now we're going to work on standard form, the different types of form. Standard form, and this is review from last year for them. Standard form is when a digit stands. And in other words, he's standing up, like 452. Written form is when you're writing. La, la, la. And when we write with words. 452. So here's digits. What are digits? Good. Digits are numbers for those listening. Written form is when you write in words. Expand. If something expands, it stretches. So see the word expanded? Expand means you stretch it. See expanded right there? Expanded means you stretch. So I want y'all to stretch your arms wide. Expand your bodies. And make them do that a little bit. Stretch. How far can you expand? Okay, if you how do we make numbers longer? I mean, 452 is not very long. So how do we expand numbers? Expanded form is when you expand a number with lots of zeros. The more zeros we add, the longer they get. There's two types. We've got expanded notation. Can y'all say notation? Yep. Notation is like you're taking notes. You're taking notes of how many 100s are there. In 452, there are 4 100s, which is a value of 400, because that's what form is. Cha-ching. Cha-ching is value. When you say that word value, value is how much is the number worth. Cha-ching. Like Mr. Krabs, he likes money, right? So in the number 452, I could break this up, right? And what did we say the repeating numbers are in place value if you were listening? 1, 10, 100. Let's write it. O for 1, T, 10, H, 100. 1, 10, 100. O-T-H. Y'all say it with me. 1, 10, 100. Now come over here. I can't even find. How many hundreds do we have? 4. I have 4 groups of 100, which is a value of 400. I have 5 tens. If I have 5 groups of 10, I have a value of 50. I have 2 ones. If you have 2 $1 bills, you have 2 groups of 1, which is a value of 2. All right, we're going to practice this. So go to the back. And let's just do a little bit of practice. Write the place value. Now, if you're writing place value, and that's something I need to go back and do. The digits, these are the values. When you write a number, these are values. Like how much is your house worth? $10 million. How much is your dog worth? $10. I mean, values. When you write words, this is when you're writing the digits place. Like what place does it live in? And honestly, the words could go up here, the numbers could go below. It doesn't matter. So when they want the place, think of like an address. What is the street's name? What place does it live in? That's words. When it wants the value, cha-ching, Mr. Krabs, cha-ching, cha-ching, cha-ching. All right, so what place is it in? I want y'all to tell me those repeating place values. When I point, I want y'all to tell me what are the 3 place values? 1, 10, 100. Well, what are we in? 1, 10. Put a T. So what place are we in? The tens place. So y'all write tens, T-E-N-S. Okay, what are the place values again? And if you forget, let me show you. 1, 10, 100. 1, 10, 100. 1, 10, 1, 10. So let's say them as I point. So you look up here and let's say them together. 1, 10, 100. Repeat. 1, 10, 100. Repeat. 1, 10, 100. So we're in a 10, right? If you have 2 commas, I have a good memory, but if I don't know, 2 commas says
million.
See, Landon is listening. So this is 2 commas, which says million. So what place is this 5 in? He's in the 10 million. 10 mil, M-I-L-L, yen.
Million.
All right, girls, I want y'all to say the places as I point. So everyone should be looking up here. Girls are going to say the places. 1, good. 10, 100. Repeat. 1. So let's put an O for 1. If you have 1 comma, what are you? 1,000. Good. So this 8 is in what place? 1,000s. 1. How do we spell thousand, y'all?
THOUSANDS.
Yeah, you could put S, thousands, or 1,000. Boys, I want y'all to say the places for the next number while I point. Boys, let's hear if y'all can do it.
1, 10, 100. 1, 10, 100.
H says 100. 1 comma is thousand. So this 6 is in what place? 100 thousands. Landon, you can stay here if you want. 100, dread, D-R-E-D, thousands. He's in the 100,000 or the 100,000s place. Pretty easy if you've been listening. Value. Now value is Mr. Krabs. Cha-ching, cha-ching. How much is the number worth? Well, first, you have to know what place it's in. So let's say the places. 1
10.
T, right? 110?
Yes.
I'm going to think about it like this. If I have 4 groups of 10, 4 tens, what do I have, everyone? 40, yeah. 4 tens, 10, 20, 30, 40. Or if you really want to cheat, you just write the number 4 with a 0 behind it. Okay, let's say our places, everyone. 1, 10, 100. Repeat. 1, 10,
100.
10. So I have 9. Look, I have 9. And what are they in? The tens, right? Oh, Catherine needs to pay attention. See, Catherine was not paying attention. Oh, that one was right. Ding, ding. I have 9. 9 what? I have 9, 10 with a comma. What's a comma say? 1,000. So I have 9 groups of 10 thousands. Every comma is followed by 3 numbers. Well, let's just think about it like this. What's 9 groups of 10? 90 with 3 zeros.
9,000.
90,000. Another trick. If you want the value of a number, write the 9 and every number behind it. 0, 0, 0, 0. Let's do it again. Let's say the digits. Let's say the places. 1, 10,
100.
100. How many hundreds do we have?
4.
Well, if you have 400s, you have 100, 200, 300,
400.
400. All right, let's say the numbers, the places. 1, 10, 100. Repeat. 1, 10, 100. Repeat. 1, 10. And if you have 2 commas,
You're in the millions.
so we have 5. Watch this, I can do a drawing. 5 groups of 10 millions. Let's just think about what's 5 groups of 10 is
50 mil.
10, 20, 30, 40, 50 with that 2 commas. 50, 2 commas is 50 what? Million. And what do I know goes behind commas? 3 digits,
Zeros.
3 numbers.
But there's another column.
All right. Now we're going to go through and practice. Notice that there are hints up here. Read and write numbers using commas. The commas are your buddies.
Buddy.
1 comma, 1,000. 2 commas, million. 3 commas,
Billion.
billion. 1 comma says 1,000. It says it right there. If you write a comma, 3 digits follow. And always go to standard form first. Standard form is when the digits stand. That's the easy one we like. Remember, written is when you write in words. And if you expand, what does that mean, y'all? Can you show me expand with your hands? Stretch. And how do you stretch numbers? You stretch them with adding 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, a 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. Then they get longer, 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 longer. If it's form, cha-ching. That's Mr. Krabs. If it's notation, take note. Take note. What's the number times the place? So, for example, easiest way, now people who do well on this assignment are the ones who do what we've been doing. Label 1, 10, 100, 1. 1, 10, 100, 1. 1 comma says
1,000.
TH. If I'm not lazy, I do this, and guess what? My math is going to be a lot easier. Written form, we write it like we say it. So forgetting the back part, what's in front of my finger? 1 with a comma. So 1,000. So I write 1,000, THOU, sand. And then look up. When y'all are looking up, I know you're ready. What's right here in my fingers next? The whole number. 824. So as I write it, I say it. 8, E-I-G-H-T, 8, 100, 24, F-O-U-R. And it should have a hyphen. 24. Now here's something else you're going to need to start doing are these hyphens. And y'all talked about this last year. You can kind of feel it when numbers need a hyphen. For example, any number that's a 10 and a 1, like 2 10s, 20. So 1 through 19 don't need hyphens. Like 19, look, watch my pen. 19, 19, 18, 20, 21, 16, 34, 14, 55. When they have that rhythm of 55, 27, 99, 33, they need a hyphen. Expanded notation, expanded form. Go ahead and let's take this number and let's write it over here. 1, 8, 2, 4. I like to do this. All right, for expanded form, you've got a 1, 0, 0, 0. Because 1 is in the 1,000s. If you have 1, 1,000, you have 1,000. 8, 8, 0, 0. Actually, I think that's confusing, y'all. I always like teaching my kids like this. Start at the beginning. You have 1 1,000. So I have 1 1,000, which is 1 comma followed by 3 zeros. Groups, remember multiplication is groups. I have one group of 1,000. I have 1 1,000. 1 1,000 is 1,000. I think that's when I'd write it. Plus, if you've labeled it, you have 8H. What are H's? Hundreds. So write what you're saying. I have 8 groups of hundreds. Well, 8 groups of hundreds, drop your 8 down, is 800. Plus 2 T's. What are T's? Tens, yeah. If you have 2 groups of 10, how much do y'all have? 20, yeah. You drop the 2 and add a 0. 20. Plus, what's left? 4. 4 what? 4 ones. Write down that. I have 4 groups of 1. 4 ones is a value of 4. There's your expanded form. 1,000 plus 800 plus 20 plus 4. All right, always go to standard form. This is your friendliest form. So, when I read a number, boys, I want y'all to read this for us. All right, all boys, start again, together. 819,304. Who can tell me a comma word? Good, highlight it or circle it. How many commas are in 1,000? 1. Put 1 comma. What do I know comes after commas? 3 digits. Always 3, right? So if this is my comma, what's in front of it? 819. 819. Well, let's think of places. I have 1, 10, 100. 819. 8 is in the hundreds. 19. 1 comma says 1,000. What's behind it? 304. 1, 10, 100. 3 in the hundreds. 4. So is it 4 tens or 4 ones? 4 ones. Good. What goes here? 0. All right. To do notation, think about what you have. If you've labeled it, it's easy. I have 8 what? I have 8 H's. 100 thousands. So watch me first. I have 8 groups of 100, and 1,000 is 1 comma with 3 zeros. So I have 8 groups of 100,000. And I'm going to just go ahead and write my standard form over here. 819,304. So I have an 8. So 8 100s. If you had 8 100s, 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, 600, 700, 800. 8 100s is 800,000. So basically it's the 8 followed by zeros. Right? Because anything times 1 is 8 followed by zeros. Plus, what's the next number? A 1. What place is it in? The 10,000. So that's what I'm going to write. I have a 1 in the 10 with 1 comma because that's 1,000. 1 10,000 is how much, everyone? 10,000. Yeah, so you drop your 1 and everything behind it goes to 0. See, I really feel like this is kind of, I don't know that I do the lines. I may just stick with the 800,000 plus 10,000. That's how I used to do it. I was just trying something different. 9 is in the what? 1,000s. So I have 9. Y'all look up here. I have 9 groups of 1,000 is 1 comma with 3 zeros. And this is how I usually talk kids. What's 9 times 1? 9 with 3 zeros. 9 with 3 zeros. Yeah, if I have 9 1,000s, I have 9,000. I often would use my fingers in like 1,000, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9,000. This is when I start asking kids, I randomly call on someone. Landon, what's the next number? 3. What place is it in, Cadence? Hundreds. All right, everyone, look up here. So I have 3 in the 100s. I'm writing what I'm saying. And I'd give them dojos if they answered right. And then I'd say, Aaron, what's the value of 3 100s? 300, good. 3, that makes sense because 3 times 1 is 3 with 2 zeros. Okay, what's the next digit, John? Yeah, we only have a 4. What place is it in, Dion? Ones. So that's what we're going to write. 4 groups of ones. And Emily, what is the value of 4 ones? Yeah, 4. Okay. So this is how I break down the numbers. I'll do one more. Right here, I would come from here to here. I have 6 tens, y'all. What is the value of 6 tens? 60 with 3 zeros. 60 with 3 zeros. 60,000. All right, look next. We have 4 groups of 1. 4 times 1 is 4 with 3 zeros. So let's put the comma. 4 with 3 zeros. 4,000. 8 100s, y'all. What's the value of 8 100s? Good, 800. So that goes behind the comma. Now what do we have? 6 groups of 10. Ooh, I like that y'all said groups and not times. 6 groups of 10 is what? 60. So that goes here. Line it up. And then 2 ones. And if you add this up, if you line it vertically, 2, 6, 8, 4, 6. I'm not even going to worry about saying it. Guess what? There's your standing, man. Their standard form. The digit is standing is 6, 4, comma, 8, 6, 2. We're not even worried about how to say it. Now, what can I do to help myself? Well, I could label. Y'all tell me the places, and as we say them, I want you to label your number. 1, that's right, 1, 10, 100. Repeat. 1, 10. 1 comma says 1,000. Very good. So if I were going to write this number, let's start with the first half. This guy's name is 64,000. So I'm going to say that as I write it. 60, 6TY, hyphen, 60, FOUR, 1,000, THOUSAND, 1,000. And then look up when you're ready, 64,000. Okay, even if you're not ready, I want you to look up here. What's after that? Say the whole group together. 862. That's what I'm going to write. 8 EIGHT, 800, hundred, 60, hyphen, TWO. Okay. Last one. Give me a comma word, Kevin. Billion, good. Give me another common word, John. Yep, 1,000. Is there any more, Kate? Oh, good, million, and I would have dinged each one. Well, how many commas do we have? 3. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do 1, 2, 3 commas. And you know what I know? I've been listening. After every comma, there are how many digits? 3. So I'm going to put 3 little spaces behind each one. And I know 1 comma says, yep, 1,000. Then M for million, and then B for billion. What does it say in front of billion up here? 15. So in front of the B, what number do we need? Yeah, 15. 1, 5. What does it say between billion? What is it? We need to get between billion and million. What's between billion and million right here? 420. 420. Let me see. 1, 10, 420. See how I'm using my places here? All right, now I need to go between million and thousand. Here's million, here's thousand. What's in between? 345. So I need 100. I have 1, 10, 100. 345. After thousand, after the word thousand is 95. Let me think about my places. 1, 10, 100. Did y'all hear 100? Me either. There are no hundreds. It's just 95. All right, and then let's label all of them. 1, 10. All right, so how would we write this? We'll start with the first digit. You have 1 in the 10 billions. So that's what we're going to write. We have one group of 10, and billion is 3 zeros and after 3 commas, and after the 3 commas, 3 digits. So I have one group of 10 billion, which is a value. If you have 10 billion, if you have one group of 10 billion, you have 10 with 3 commas, you have 10 billion. And then you just keep working it. Then I have 5 1 billions. I have 5 groups of 1 billion is 3 commas, and 3 digits follow your commas. And we know 5 times 1 is 5 with all of the commas. So I have 5, line up your commas, billion. That's how I break this down.